Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It has finally happened. It has finally happened. Zoro has achieved Conquerors Hockey. Now, most people may say Zoro's probably had Conquerors Hockey for quite some time. If you go back to the feat he had at Sabaody where he scared off the bounty hunters, a lot of people are mentioning the Monet feat as well, where he didn't actually touch her, but he cut through her. And based on this new revelation of Conquerors Hockey that we got, it's possible to say it. So I'm not gonna rule it out completely. But at the same time, I want us to focus on the task at hand. And that is the fact that now we are having new discussions about Roronoa Zoro. I feel like his character has gone into another spectrum. Mr. Morge was correct. Everybody's theory about Zoro having Conquerors Hockey, the parallels between Roger and Rayleigh and Luffy and Zoro, it's coming to life. We're here now. We're at this point, and this reveal about Conquerors Hockey has so many implications for not only other characters, but for end of series and for Zoro in particular. And let's talk about why. But before we get into that, Zoro's showing in Wano has been extremely impressive. Throughout post-time skip, we have had a lot of moments where Zoro has kind of just been cruising around, folding Pika, and the Yeti Cool Brothers. That wasn't really an L. I mean, I know we like to meme about the Yeti Cool Brothers, but at the same time, it wasn't really that big of a deal. Zoro really wasn't trying. And then we keep going on. We go into, what was the last time we saw Zoro? My goodness, when was the last time we saw Zoro? My God, before Whole Cake, Zoe, Dressrosa. Yeah, so Pika. That was it. It was literally Pika. So we had Pika. And then we saw no Zoro. He cut Pika, cut him in half. He showed us the armament hockey, everything. So we had no idea how strong Zoro was. And then the moment we step into Wano, we have this idea, okay, Zoro is going to hoop. We're about to get the Zoro we've been waiting for so long, and he did not disappoint. My man started off with cutting an entire temple. Like a wooden temple, whatever it was in Wano, whatever you want to call it. Let's call it a wooden house, okay? My man cut a wooden house with a seppuku knife. So we start off with that crazy scaling feat. We find out about the lore with Shisui and how important it is to the city of Wano, and Zoro fights Killer. He does the tower climb against Hawkins. Zoro is showing out consistently. The anime even showed this man exhibiting Conquerors Hockey, because I think now it's safe to say we can assume that was Conquerors Hockey. So that's insane in itself, right? So then after that, we get the Enma stuff. We get the Gyukimaru stuff. And now we have Enma. And now everyone's thinking, okay, now we're starting to scale Zoro. I think Zoro is now first commander level, around there. Enma's a huge power up. He should be able to cut Kaido. Is he going to kill Kaido? We don't know. We had the whole ZKKC thing. There's been a lot of discussion about Zoro in Wano. But we just need to frame the series of events from post-time skip till now to see where Zoro is at, right? So we're here. We're here now. He uses Enma. It's a power-up. He cuts Kaido. They make the commentary about Enma. That's fine. We move on. We have the Ocean Sovereignty feat. My lord, what a feat that was. But he had collateral damage. But we've seen in the series before, Zoro has taken severe amounts of damage and still managed to lay off a finishing blow. Look at Alabasta. That is the best example you'll ever get. Alabasta, my man, if you saw what happened to Zoro in Alabasta, you would not be surprised at Zoro still standing up and still doing amazing feats and eventually using Ashura to cut Kaido. And Ashura is now back in the picture. Now, to discuss Ashura really quickly before we get into the implications of what Zoro's just learned. The way Ashura was used, I've always had this notion. I've always wondered, is Ashura something that Zoro is consciously using, or is it just a demon spirit that comes out of him in extreme circumstances or when he gets angry in response to emotion? Because the only time we've seen him willingly use it is, honestly, you could argue Enies Lobby, right? You could argue Enies Lobby. He was upset and he used it. Now, here, he said, I have a final attack. So he knew he was going Ashura already. He knew it. So to me, I'm like, okay, Zoro has been training with this technique. If he's able to summon it out of nowhere, this is his last resort. 9 sword style Ashura. Incredible. Cuts Kaido. I thought it would knock him down. I'm not gonna lie, I'm disappointed. I thought it would knock him down. I feel like Ashura should have done more. And that's not downplaying Zoro at all. I just thought Oda would make it in a way where, we'd see, oh, Ashura, that's amazing. But it scarred Kaido. Kaido gained respect for him, and that served its purpose. That was fantastic. Cool. And also Zoro's wounded, so I don't expect he can put so much force into it, right? He broke bones, so okay, fair. But then Kaido mentions, wait a minute. You can use Conquerors Hockey too? Wait a minute, how, wait a minute. Luffy, you got Luffy? You can use Conquerors and your first mate can use Conquerors? Like Kaido's like, I like these. He said these worst generation niggas is crazy, they wild, right? So we're here. Then we get into the discussion of what this means for Zoro in general, what it means for scaling or what it means for other characters. But we're going to talk about Zoro and Mihawk in particular. Now, we saw Luffy using Conquerors Hockey in the coded version, the way that we saw Whitebeard and Roger use it. We found out that Kaido knocked out Luffy because he used that coded version of Conquerors Hockey, and then he proceeds to fold Kaido, so on and so forth. Now with Zoro, he used the same version, I'm guessing, to cut Kaido. It's possible. And if he did, this is the next level. This is the level Zoro needs to get to. He needs to consciously use this Conquerors Hockey. Now, if you look at Mihawk versus Shanks, we know Shanks has this. There's no way Shanks doesn't have it. He's a master of all hockeys. If Mihawk doesn't know Conquerors Hockey, but his swordsmanship skill is so great that it can put him on par with someone like Shanks, then that would leave the possibility of the Conquerors Hockey Zoro will learn and master to be the defining factor in his fight against Mihawk. Now, that is only a guess. To me, I'd be shocked if Mihawk doesn't have a Conquerors Hockey. We don't even know the criteria, unless it's someone with great ambition, but Mihawk seems like that type of person. He's the greatest swordsman in the world, so why wouldn't he have Conquerors Hockey? So, that's been established, right? That Shanks has Conquerors Hockey, Zoro has Conquerors Hockey, Luffy has Conquerors Hockey. You can code it around your sword, and it's basically the top tier fighting style. I'm talking top 10. If you don't have this form of Conquerors Hockey, you don't have top 10 potential. That's where we're at here. That's where we're at. I think that's established. For scaling purposes, Zoro is now, is defined as ever. Minimum first commander level, like up to the admiral level, we're talking here. Because if he learns this, he's fighting admirals. I know this, to some people it may sound aggressive. I don't think it's aggressive at all. I think Zoro is fighting admirals. I think he is now. I think he's in that class now. That's a big deal. I put a lot of stock in characters that can use Conquerors Hockey, and this chapter has proven it. If you have Conquerors Hockey, you have potential to hit the top 10 if you go far enough. This is why I keep mentioning to people that Boa Hancock is a lot stronger than people think. Doflamingo, Ace, all of these guys. These guys all had that top 10 potential. If they get there, that's up to them. But Zoro is going to get there. He has the ambition, the will, the drive. He has the makeup. He has the build to do it. So him versus Mihawk is going to be all about Conquerors Hockey, which means end of series Zoro will be using all of his techniques and imbuing Conquerors Hockey within them. Zoro is going to be pushing fodder aside now. Zoro is going to be folding second and third commanders now. First commanders are going to struggle with Zoro. We're at that level. I know people might say, Jay, you're going crazy. Like, what's happening here? This is just proof to you guys that I understand where Zoro is going in a power sense. He's going to the top. I would not be shocked if Zoro ends up top 5 in the verse as a result of this revelation. I would not be surprised. He's destined for it. And that fight with Mihawk, if Mihawk has Conquerors, then how is he going to defeat Mihawk? I'm not sure. Because if Mihawk has Conquerors, we're just going to have to see a sort, like he's going to have to use Ashura consistently. I'm talking like, it's like a Gear 4th form where he's using Ashura all the time. That actually might be the final level. If he masters Conquerors Hockey to the degree that Luffy has, and we know that Ashura is basically an expression of his Conquerors Hockey now, I think that's something we can confirm. Zoro mastering the coding of Conquerors Hockey could be the key to him staying in Ashura for an extended period of time, which would lead me to believe extended period of time Ashura end of series is broken beyond measure. And you already add that to his already broken attacks and his crazy durability. This Zoro arc after Wano, Zoro about to be really built different. He's about to be incredible. And I couldn't be happier. The streets couldn't be happier. Everyone's excited. So end of series Zoro, I'm here for it. Oda, this reveal, this chapter, this Zoro feat was amazing. It's just like, how can you not be excited? Zoro's on his way. He's on his way. Now we can compare him to Rayleigh. Now Zoro is on that tier. I don't think he's as strong as Rayleigh was back then, because Rayleigh back then was Yonko level. But right now, yes, Zoro is officially the Rayleigh of the series. If you didn't know, now you know, nigga. Now you know. And that's it for me, guys. If you have any other Where do you think Zoro's gonna end up? First of all, do you still think Zoro's gonna kill Kaido? I'm very curious about that, because he's going down to the rooftop now. He's going down from the rooftop now. Is he going to kill Kaido still? Is it possible? I've heard people mention that they'll have the final showdown in Wano's capital where Luffy will fight Big Mom, because they don't believe Kid can beat Big Mom. That's a whole nother discussion. But what do you think Zoro's gonna do now that he's most likely going off the rooftop? Because he mentioned that he wants to lead the samurai, that he's going to lead the samurai. I think he still has beef with Orochi. I think it will be a cheap fight, but a wounded Zoro is folding Orochi. So I think for a narrative sense, that could be perfect. Maybe he fights King. That doesn't make any sense to me, honestly. So what is Zoro's purpose gonna be off the rooftop? He might come back. It's definitely possible, but for now, it's up in the air, and I might just save that prediction for another video where we talk about matchups after everything is settled. But until then, like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you guys as always. We just hit 10K, so we're excited. Ooh, man, things are going well, and I appreciate you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys later. I'm out. Take care.